Okay, right. So shall we move on to topic? Right, apart from this basics, even somehow basics also will cover during the topic only. So because right, so one of the chapter or the major part we are getting score from this thermodynamics, almost 20 to 25 marks we are getting. So in 2 marks and as well as 4 marks also, right? So that is we have to discuss about thermodynamics. Right. So sometimes even it will be easy and sometimes too difficult, right? So based on the depthness of the subject only. If only basic concepts are there, just easily understand. If more that can be applied to the practically, so it little bit difficultiness, right? So if you understand that basics, it will be easy to understand even depth level also, right? Okay. So small introduction about thermodynamics we have to discuss, right? So what is meant by thermo? Thermo means heat, right? What is meant by dynamics? Dynamics, motion, right? Dynamics means motion, right? So thermodynamics including this means motion of the heat, right? So this motion of the heat we may call as flow of heat. Flow of heat, right? So what is meant by flow of heat? What will happen with the help of flow of heat from one to another, right? So now we people are healthy, right? What is our body temperature? Body temperature in degrees we have to express, or in degree Fahrenheit, right? We have to express, right? So most probably Fahrenheit. When we feel fever, means our body temperature will be high, right? So means we are in normal condition, then by absorbing some amount of heat, or else it will be generated in internal in our body, so that becomes generating heat. So means some lower heat to higher heat, there is a heat transformation will be there. Heat changes are occurs. Due to that, some changes will be occurs. Whenever we are healthy, we have to do whatever is the work easily and smoothly. If our body temperature will be very high, we won't do anything, just simply bed rest only, right? So means heat differences will be there, right? The flow of heat, so whatever is the process will be there. So in that, how with the help of flow of heat, what are the changes or occurs, that we are going to discuss, right? So mainly it is used to explain it explains, right, the energy change, accompanying during physical and chemical processes. Physical and chemical processes, right? So means the main aim of thermodynamics is going to explain about energy changes, right? So how we are getting the energy change, that will be during physical process or chemical process, right? Whatever is the physical process will be there, right? How the energy will be changes during that process. If it is a chemical process will be there, how the energy will be changes during that chemical process. That changes, energy changes, we are going to explain with the help of thermodynamics, right? So for example, physical process, right? For physical processes, what about physical processes? How many substances are there? Majorly 5 will be there, but we have to focus on 3: solid, liquid and gas, right? When solid is converted to liquid, by absorbing heat or by releasing heat? By absorbing heat. The solid substance absorbing heat, that becomes converted into liquid, right? Or else liquid is converted into gases, right? These two processes are occurs by absorption of heat. By absorption of heat. These processes are occurs by absorption of heat. Whenever heat is observed, what about this process? Endothermic process. Endothermic process. Whatever is the process is endothermic. How the energy changes will occurs from one substance to another substance. With the help of that, the properties of those reaction can be explained with the help of thermodynamics, right? Then absorption of heat, right? If evolution of heat will be takes place, what was that process? Exothermic process, right? If heat is evolved, so that is the process is known as exothermic, right? Just write down. Right. Reverse process, right? When liquid is converted to solid. When liquid is converted to solid means by liberation of heat energy. By liberation of heat energy, liquids are converted to solids, right? So then vapors or gases are converted to liquids. These two processes are carried out by liberation of heat energy. Liberation of heat energy. Heat or heat energy. Heat is a form of energy. Even we have to discuss about definition of heat, what are the units and how it should be expressed. When heat is liberated, what about that process? Exothermic process. Exothermic process, right? So means we have to be able to express the various physical processes, right? So the various physical processes are carried out. During that physical process, how the heat energy will be changes, that we have to explain with the help of some thermodynamic parameters. So that is the concept of thermodynamics, right? So then what about chemical process? Tell me any one chemical process. Any one chemical process. Any one reaction. Simple combustion reaction. What is a combustion reaction? Any substance is burns with oxygen, right? Any substance means, for example, carbon is burns with oxygen. Oxygen is the gas, carbon is allotrope, that is the graphite. So this we able to get carbon dioxide gas, right? So this is the word combustion process. This is the word combustion process. Right. The combustion process is, it is always exothermic process. It is always exothermic process, right? Whatever is the substance is burns with oxygen, right? So that can give a gaseous products. So at that time some amount of heat will be released. So therefore, so during this process, chemical process, so how the energy changes will be taking place. With the help of that, we are going to express the properties of that particular reaction based on basic components of thermodynamic parameters, right? So the first point will be, it explains the energy change occurring during physical and chemical process. These are the somehow physical processes and somehow chemical processes, right? Even some other also will be there, like synthesis of ammonia, synthesis of sulfur trioxide, right? Dissociation of hydrogen iodide. Many processes will be there, like decomposition reactions. KClO3 is converted to O2 and KCl and CO2, like that. Many reactions are there. During that, how the energy, heat energy will be changes, right? So what is meant by heat energy, right? Particularly the heat energy changes into other form of energies, right? So therefore it explains about next point. It explains about conversion of heat into other form of energies. Heat into other form of energies. Heat is also energy only, so then other form of energies also will be there. What are the other form of energies, right? How this heat will be converted into other form of energies? Heat will be denoted with Q, right? Then the other form of energies, will be, one will be work, that will be W, right? Next internal energy, that will be E. Next enthalpy, that will be H. Next entropy, that will be S. Next Gibbs free energy, that will be G, and like so on, right? How heat energy is transformed into other form of energies, right? So these all are other form of energies, so which will be involved in various physical and chemical process, right? So some reactions will be physical, involved in physical nature, transformation of one phase to another phase, and somehow involved in chemical nature, so that some chemical species are converted into other form of chemical species. That is a chemical process. During that physical and chemical process, how the energy transformation will be carried out, so such relationships we are going to explain, right? So if we consider any heat enzyme, right? If you consider any heat enzyme, the efficiency of heat enzyme can be also explained with the help of thermodynamics, right? So the next one will be, these all are importance of thermodynamics or basic introduction, right? It explains, or it explains the efficiency of heat enzymes. Means how much amount of heat energy. Efficiency, how we are getting, means how much amount of heat energy is converted into work. How much amount of heat energy? Is there 100% heat energy is converted into work, therefore its efficiency is what? 100%, right? If only 90% efficiency is there, only 90% of work is converted into 90% of heat is converted into work, only 20% is its efficiency, 20% of heat is converted into work. So what is the efficiency of any heat enzyme? Heat enzyme means that can be do some work. Any heat enzymes, that is a system that can do some work, so that with the help of heat only, how much amount of heat will be converted into work, right? So that can be explained with the help of thermodynamics, right? And also, so the mostly we have to discuss about these next 2 points, right? So that are, it explains about feasibility of the reaction. Feasibility of reaction. What is meant by feasibility? Feasibility means possible, right? Whether the reaction is taking place or not. That is also we have to explain with the help of thermodynamics, right? So it explains about feasibility of the reaction. That means whether the reaction is carried out or not. Whether the reaction is carried out or not, right? If the reaction is carried out, the next point will be this one only, right? So first it will be, the important thing is what? It explains about feasibility of the reaction. Feasibility of the reaction is means what? Whether the reaction is takes place or not, or carried out or not. If there is a reaction means there is a feasibility. If there is no reaction, there is no feasibility. Means whether the reaction is taking place or not, right? For example, photosynthesis reaction is there. What is meant by photosynthesis? Water and carbon dioxide reacted together in the presence of sunlight to produce glucose and oxygen, right? That is the photosynthesis. So whether the reaction is carried out or not means is there is a reaction in the presence of light, sunlight, right? Even in chlorophyll also, right? So in the presence of light there is a reaction means there is a feasibility of the reaction. If there is a feasibility of the reaction, right? So whether the process or reaction is, the process or reaction is spontaneous or not. Spontaneous or not. This spontaneous process will be carried out either without external source or with the help of small initiation. With the help of small initiation, right? Just process will be started, right? After initiation, is that process is carried out continuously or not, right? If that process is carried out continuously, that process becomes what? Spontaneous process. If the process can be break down, that becomes non-spontaneous process, right? Two terminology we have to remember, right? One will be feasibility of the reaction. One will be what? Feasibility of the reaction. The other will be spontaneity of the reaction. Whatever is the physical transformation or chemical transformation, physical process or chemical process, during that physical and chemical processes, if there is a reaction or not, if there is a reaction, therefore feasibility of the reaction is there. When feasibility of the reaction is there, whether the process is a spontaneous process or not, right? So even we have to discuss, right? So that becomes spontaneous or not, right? Continuous reaction or not. What are the spontaneous processes? Naturally occurring processes are becomes spontaneous process, right? So made a statement, naturally occurring process becomes spontaneous process, right? All naturally occurring processes, all naturally occurring processes becomes spontaneous processes. All naturally occurring process becomes spontaneous process. What are those naturally occurring processes? Right? So do you know about waterfalls? Waterfalls from which region to which region? High altitude to low altitude. Is it naturally occurring process or not? naturally occurring process. Or anyone be sit at top level and pour the water to down? No, right? So if rainy is there, definitely waterfalls will be there. Rainy means nothing but what? Small source with a small initiation, right? Or else without initiation also we are able to get some waterfalls that are naturally occurring, that is God gift, right? All naturally occurring processes becomes what? Spontaneous processes. That means what is the first one? Flow of water. Flow of water from where to where? High altitude to low altitude, or high region to low region, right? High region to low region. Even we have to write high altitude to low altitude also, right? So high region to low region, right? Flow of water. So from down to up water, is that waterfalls? No. We are using water for bathing purpose and domestic purpose or industrial purpose, any agriculture purpose. We are taking water from underground with the help of source only. Without source, is it possible? If water we have to collect automatically, we don't want to do. We have to do agriculture only. Without the water source, we may enter into this field, right? If properly water source is there, even myself also, I enjoyed with my agriculture only, right? So no proper water source will be there, right? Due to so many changes in the atmosphere, that will be due to our activities only, human activities only. The environment will be damaged with the help of our activity only, right? Right. So next, second one, flow of heat. Flow of heat from where to where? Take hot water, just kept it on the bench. So then adjacent Shanti theatre is there, go for movie and come back. See, what do you observe? Heat will be transferred, na? From where to where? High temperature to low temperature. That will be naturally occurring process. Anyone can sit here and transfer that heat energy? One of your friend will be sit here and transfer that heat energy? No. Naturally occurring process, right? So that becomes flow of heat is transferred from high temperature to low temperature, right? Next, flow of or expansion of gas. Flow of gas or also expansion of gas, right? From high pressure region to low pressure region. It is also automatically happen, right? High pressure region to low pressure. For example, room capacity will be what? 100 members. Unfortunately, entered 200 members. Pressure will be built. Definitely, windows will be thrown out there and some people will be left from the class. So due to suffocation and pressure and all those things, means expansion will be takes place, definitely, right? So expansion of gas means from high pressure region to low pressure region, right? Next, flow of current. Flow of current, high potential to low potential, right? These all are what? High potential to low potential. These all are naturally occurring processes. All naturally occurring processes are becomes spontaneous processes, right? So with the help of this statement, we are going to discuss whether the reaction is reversible reaction or irreversible reaction. So the concept we have to apply. With the help of that reversible in nature, whatever the reaction is carried out, how it is getting equilibrium condition. The attainment of equilibrium can be explained with the help of thermodynamics only. Whatever is the reaction will be there. So for example, so this side 3 members are there and this side 9 members are there. How we are getting equilibrium means some people will be move this side and maintain balance, same equal. That is the condition is what? Equilibrium. How those are transferred, what is the process is involved in that? That is the thermodynamics, right? To attainment of equilibrium also explains, right? So write the next point. It explains it explains attainment of equilibrium condition. Attainment of equilibrium condition. How getting equilibrium condition in physical and chemical processes, right? So even physical also will be there. Solid is equilibrium with liquid. Liquids are equilibrium with vapors, right? So so any reaction will be carried out, synthesis of ammonia, nitrogen and hydrogen combined together to form ammonia, that is also getting equilibrium condition, right? How we are getting the equilibrium condition, and that is also can be explained, right? So this is the somehow importance, right? So the major points I covered. So this is the importance of thermodynamics. Therefore we have to study about this thermodynamics. Simple thing. We people are in normal situation. So once we feel fever means how the temperature will be generated internally with the help of food, with the help of water. Many sources will be there, right? So we have to find out those sources, means we have to apply the chemistry only. So simply 1 dolo 650, or if it is excess we have to take injection with the help of extra dose antibiotics, and so other process we have to do, right? Okay, so this is the somehow importance. Then this much of importance is there. Is there any limitations are there? Right. As there are some limitations also will be there, right? So just we have to discuss about limitations and we'll stop here, right? Put heading limitations. What are the limitations means? It is applicable for macro particles only. Macro means big size. It won't be applied to micro particles. That is the limitations. Whatever is the heat transfer will be considering from physical and chemical processes, that becomes macro process only. If it is a micro, we are not able to get this much of information, right? So therefore write down, it is applicable for macro particles. That is one of the limitation, right? Next, no explanation about rate of the reaction. Means the kinetic study we won't get from this thermodynamics. We are saying that so many reactions are carried out. Even we are saying a spontaneous reaction will be there, non-spontaneous will be there, equilibrium will be there, but how much time it will take and what is its rate of reaction, such things we won't discuss it in thermodynamics, right? That is also one of the limitations. Means no explanation about rate of reaction. And third one, no explanation about mechanism of the reaction. Simply we are saying heat transfer maybe takes place in this direction or in this direction, but there is no particular. For example, right? So take hot water and kept it on the bench before starting of the class. After completion of the class, we have to see. We have to say the heat will be transferred to that corner or this corner. No. The direction we cannot expect, right? So we cannot explain the direction of the process. In all over 360 degrees, it may be spread, right? So therefore, the mechanism of the reactions or processes cannot be explained, right? And the fourth one will be, it is not applicable for microparticles like protons, neutrons and electrons. Whatever is these electrons transfer will be there. During that, if is there any changes or occurs, so that we cannot predict, right, with the help of thermodynamics. These are the somehow limitations of thermodynamics, right? So importance and limitations will be there. So we will go through the terminology involved in this thermodynamics, and each and every parameter we have to discuss in detail with the help of units and conversions, and we have to apply all those things, right? And also one important point we missed, that if space is there we have to write there, right? Even in important points, importance of thermodynamics, if space is there you have to add one more point, right? It is applicable for our daily activities. Means thermodynamics concepts are applicable for our daily activities, like burning of fuel, means how we came here with help of transportation, how the vehicles are moving by burning of fuel only, right? So that is a daily activity, na? Or else you people are coming here to here without vehicles, right? Okay, right. Cooking also involved in thermodynamics process only, right? Heating, etc. So whatever is the daily activities will be there, that all are involved thermodynamics only. Means heat transformation will be there, right? So how the food will be cooked means by providing heat only. It will absorb, right? We are providing heat means endothermic process, right? So like that all will be discussed. So tomorrow we have to start basic parameters. What are the basic parameters of thermodynamics? Then in detail with definitions and all those things we have to discuss. Okay. Until then, take care.